Hey guys, welcome back to New World Carpentry Solutions, and today we're going to be doing a simple build starting over here at the drill press. And what we're going to be tackling are drawers for underneath. This is something I've been needing to tackle for quite a while, just so I can store stuff like, the key. I do plan to get one of those magnetic plates to attach to the side of the drill press, but for now, some simple drawers that I already built cubbies for. I'm also get these built and installed, and what I'm going to use is just I'm trying to use up a lot of the scraps left over in the shop, so I have some 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch paneling from a job, and then I'm just going to use some 3/4 inch plywood offcuts, and these are just simply going to be, drawer fronts, drawer sides, and I'm going to wrap these all the way around, boop, and make a simple drawer. I might add drawer fronts and stuff to them later, so I'm going to recess it back. So I could always add drawer fronts. And another build that we might get into starting today, I do actually have the wood for it. It is a mobile base for the drill press. It's going to end up being a base that the drill press then sits on. Then I'm going to make a removable cabinet. The drill press typically, about this height should be about where it is. So I have pretty much from here down where I can build a cabinet. And if I ever need to lower the drill press table lower, I can just remove the cabinet. I'm probably going to do like some type of, it's going to look like a rabbit. I'm just going to pretty much take some plywood and make a simple cleat. Something like that. And that'll be on the bottom or the top of my base. And then the cabinet I build will just have a wider base that can just slide in like that. But we'll get into that later. We're going to start with the actual drawers. We're going to use up some of the scrap wood and get this going. So we're going to switch the camera over to the table saw, because that's why I'm going to make most of these cuts. But first, actually, I need to know about how big I need to make this. Let's see, this side is 8.5. This side is 8 3/8 heavy. So a slight variation, a little less than 1/8 of an inch. And then to the front, we have 11 3/4. And to the front here, we have 11 3/4. So what I'm going to do is make this side 8 3/8 by, say, 11 3/4 to here. Probably not going to edge bend or do anything to the top, so we'll set it back 3/4. So we'll say 8 3/8 by 11 will be our dimensions for our drawer. So it'll sit back 3/4. I'm probably going to add like a little finger pull, so I'm still going to open it until I, build a drawer front. But that's planning with the drawer front, and this one's 8 3/8. So we'll take an 1/8 inch off. So we'll make this one 8 1/4 by 11. Share with that. That lets me know that my side pieces are going to be 11 inches. I believe with the scraps that I have here assembled in front of me. Oh, how tall is it? We have 3 1/16, 3 1/16, and don't know how thick that material is. But I know I don't want it more than 3 1/16, so I'm gonna mark that 2 7/8. So the bottom pieces need to be, minus the thickness of this, about 2 5/8. 2 5/8, and I'll make the front ones. I'll make them a full 2 5/8 and probably just take a little trapezoid out or something at the bandsaw. So we'll rip all these to 2 5/8, and they need to be 11 inches. I think there was a wider piece that I can get most of these from. I can get 2 out of that one and 2 out of this one. That's 11 inches, looks like it. So these will make our side pieces, and then for the fronts, they need to be 8 3/8 minus 1.5 inches because it's the front pieces are gonna go in between the sides. And then these are 1.5 inches. Well, because it's plywood, it's always safer to put them together. Let's see what it actually is. And that is 1 inch and 3/8 heavy. So let's call it 1.7 inches. Actually, I might just leave it at 1 3/8 inches. So make the front 7 inches. So these pieces need to be 7 inches long at 2 5/8. This piece will give me 1. This piece will give me 3. Yep. So these are all the pieces that I actually need. We're gonna switch over to the table saw, get ripping, assemble the box, and then we'll cut the plywood down to the proper size. Well, actually, I probably can go ahead and cut it now. Yeah, I'll probably cut everything at the table saw, then pre-assemble my drawers right here on the workbench, and then we'll test fit them and make sure they fit. And yeah, simple project down. Something that you guys can do, and take some scrap wood like this and transform it to something usable in your shop. I have a whole material cart over there full of scraps. I think I'm about to make me a trash can after this. Just trying to burn up as many scraps as I can and make it to something usable. I need another trash can upstairs in the bedroom, so I'm probably gonna make like a cool hexagon, octagon shaped one and just stack tiers. Some of this leftover 1x material that I have. But yeah, let's get over to the table saw. All right, so over here at the table saw, the first thing we're gonna tackle is the actual drawer pieces. Before I cut the plywood, even though I did take measurements, it's always safer to actually size the panel to the actual drawer box. Probably won't assemble it. I'm just gonna kind of get all the pieces cut, rough fit them over here on the table saw, take that measurement, and then I'll rip my bottom panel, be a little more confident then. So actually, since everything needs to go to 2 5/8, I think that's what I'll set up to do first. Let's lower the blade. I guess I'm math on one of those pieces we're a little off. One of these aren't exactly 2 5/8. I think it's just a skosh under, but that's not really a big deal. It's gonna be one of the drawer fronts. I may end up doing like a little cutout on the front of it, so if it's a little bit lower, it's not gonna hurt anything. I could go back and re-rip them all to whatever width that is. Don't think I'm gonna do that, because I'll make sure that piece definitely goes on the front, so when I actually add a drawer front, you won't see it anyway. Let's toss these in the scrap wood bin. All right, I could go over to the miter saw, but I think we're gonna stay at the table saw. That's only temporary, putting my miter gauge up there. I was just trying out using some of the pegboard that I had on the front of some of these boxes to hold stuff, like my other throw inserts and everything else, instead of having them off here to the side. Kind of do like having them right there. All right, and then these need to be cut to 7 inches. Let's see, now I'll just use a piece of this 3/4. As a stop, so we need to go 7 3/4. I did adjust the guide on the fence. It looks like we are heavy 16th off as far as the adjustment on the fence. I'm just gonna go with it, so I'm gonna set it to 7 3/4 instead of measuring from the blade. When I set it up, I didn't really try to make sure she was perfect. I was just trying to get it about back on. And for something like this, a 1/16 of an inch isn't really such a big deal. So 7 3/4. It's actually going to compound just a little bit though, for the simple fact that this is such a small piece. Might be better to clamp a stop onto the fence. Because yeah, my miter gauge can't go on that side and use the fence. Once I take the fence off. Okay, yeah, no. Change of plans. What we're gonna do. For explanation, I don't want to use this as a stop because my material is so short. When I do rebuild a miter gauge and I'll do a crosscut sled, my fence can actually slide left and right. But right now I can't do all those features, so what I need to do is actually add a stop to my miter gauge. That's 7 3/4. So I can clamp that right there. That looks about right. But yeah, the material's too small, so the offcut, it's better to set up a stop on your actual fence. I do plan to actually integrate a stop block into my miter gauge, but as of right now, I don't have one. So for a setup like this, just clamping a piece of wood over here works just fine. And just like that, I have 4 identical pieces for the drawer fronts at 7 3/4. Oh wait, 2 of them needed to be shorter. One needed to be. Is that math right? No, these needed to be 7 inches even. It's gonna be one of those blooper things. Yeah, I forgot. One was 8 3/8, one was 8 1/4. The thickness of the sides are 1 3/8 heavy, plywood. So for one of them, it needed to be an even 7, and the other one needed to be 6 3/4. I was thinking all 4 of them needed to be the same measurement. This is where the miter saw would be easier. So what I'm going to do, 6 and not 6 3/4, but there's an 1/8 inch difference. 6 7/8. This one needs to be 6 7/8. These two need to be 7. Hey guys, mistakes happen. Good thing I didn't cut them too short. Too long isn't too bad. You can always cut boards shorter. Can't make them grow. And if you can, please contact me, because I think you have $1 million invention right there. Many helpers across the nation who are sent to go find the board stretcher. Alright, glad I cut that little mistake before I started nailing stuff together. Let's see, now I need, they were 11 inches. So I'm going to mark one at 11. I'll use one of these. All right. Now we can, oh wait, we gotta cut the bottom panels. Let's see, start one here, put one there. And we're looking at eight and 3/8. That's actually smack dab where we wanted it. And we have 8 and 3/8 heavy. So plywood was about this. I took off a full 1/8. Probably should have took off just a 16th. Plywood is typically like a 16th under, a heavy 16th under. I only took off, well, I took off a full 1/8, so everything's off by like a 32nd or whatever. So what I'm going to do, this is 8 and 3/8 heavy. That cabinet opening is 8.5. This one is just under 8 and 3/8. That opening is 8 and 3/8. So what I might do, yeah, it wouldn't hurt just to take a fuzz off of these, just to make sure. It wouldn't hurt. So I don't want them to be tight. This time I'm not gonna put a stop block in there. I'm just gonna run the blade and cut both of them at the same time. Alright, one more double check. Eight and a quarter. And 8 3/8. Alright. So I can cut the plywood. How big is this one? Probably shouldn't do this. I'm gonna do it real quick. I'm just gonna run this 11-inch piece because it is fairly wide through the blade like this, but I am gonna lower the blade just a fuzz. Alright, that is all the pieces for each drawer. Now we're going to assemble these and slide them into the drill press. I finally have my air hose in the back of the shop hooked up. There's the compressor on. Oh wow, did it kick a breaker? Oh yeah, that's on a dedicated 20. Alright, so while the air compressor is filling up, we're going to go ahead and take a break. And then in the next video, we're going to go ahead and assemble all the drawers. So if you guys have enjoyed this process, definitely let me know down below. Leave me a like, comment, subscribe. Check out my other socials under New World Carpentry and New World Carpentry Solutions. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.